Hey, what is up, YouTube? This is Platinum Point, and today I am here to bring you guys yet again another video. So we're going to be looking over the Pokemon TCG today, and we're going to be looking at my Iron Thorns deck. We're going to be going over my card choices, the deck list, and some of the strategies, especially with this particular Iron Thorns list, as it has a draconic partner in Dragapult EX. Hope you guys enjoy this video and stay tuned. So before we begin, I wanted to say please subscribe to this channel if you haven't, because I cover trading card games such as Vice Schwartz, One Piece, even Pokemon. I'm planning on, since I've been getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh, I might do some content related to that. But so far I've been kind of just dabbling, pivoting between those four games, because those are my favorite. Those are the games that I'm currently playing, and it's a great way to kind of shake off TCG fatigue. So we're gonna go through this deck profile, but before we do, again, please subscribe, hit that like button if you want to see more videos like this, and let's begin with the deck profile. So we're playing an Iron Thorns Dragapult list, which was a deck that was popping up on the TCG side not too long ago. It hit the premier events, and through various tweakings of the tournament list, I came to the conclusion of this specific build of Iron Thorns Dragapult. So we're going to go through it right now, starting off with the Pokemon. So I'm playing the star of the deck for Iron Thorns EX. So for those who are not familiar with Iron Thorns EX, it has the ability Initialization, and it basically is a skill drain, an ability where your opponent's Pokemon with Rule Box do not get their abilities. So when this card is in the active, so your goal is to get this into your hand turn 1 and put it into the active, because your goal is to slow the game down. And it has an attack for 140 Volt Cyclone, which allows you to move one energy card from this card to one of your Pokemon in Benched. So your goal is you're going to wrap energy into the Iron Thorns using Crispin as your main supporter of choice, and move your fire and psychic energy from this Pokemon into your Dragapult. And then after they eventually KO this, or after the targets become soft enough, you're going to switch this out for the Dragapult and then basically clean up the game. So we play 4 copies of the Iron Thorns. It is the main attacker slash main support, main Pokemon that you play at the early game. Next we play 4 copies of GP. Pretty standard. But this is where it starts to deviate. So I play 4 copies of Dragapult. My reasoning for this is, since you're going to be locking out a lot of your draw abilities, you don't need to play Rotom V, you don't need to play the Pheasantipity, and certainly you're not playing any the Radiant Pokemon, because this literally shuts it down. So your only form of draw is going to be using the Recon Directive, which is you have to check the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, put the other at the bottom of your deck. So this is essentially the same logic for Gardevoir EX, but with Dragapult. We're going to be using this as our main draw engine. So your goal is to field at least 2 to 3 of these, so you can just Recon Directive. And of course, you're not going to evolve into Dragapult EX with all of them. You're going to use at least 1 or 2 for the Dragapult, and the other one you're just going to keep at the Dracoloak for the Recon Directive. And then, speaking of Dragapult, we play 2 copies of Dragapult EX with the really strong Phantom Dive attack, which deals 200 to your opponent's active Pokemon, and then allows you to put 6 damage counters to your opponent's bench however you like. So keep in mind that's basically a free spread. That's free damage spread, as well as it softens up the targets for KOs. So that's the lineup. The last 2 Pokemon that we play is one Toedscool, which evolves into our main stun engine. Toedscool with its slimy mold colony, which has the ability cards in your opponent's discard pile can't be put into their hand by the effects of trainer cards or abilities. So this is basically here to kind of like stifle decks like Regidrago, Raging Bolt, any decks that like to recycle cards from the discard pile. So like it even hurts Goldango, because Goldango likes to go for an early like aggression to search as much energy, especially against this deck. They'll want to search as much energy so they can answer the Iron Thorns as quickly as possible. But after they do that, the Toedscool is going to pretty much stop them from recycling the energy. So this is there to stop those kind of decks that like to like go through a lot of resources, whether it be energy, items, and just prevent them from adding it back to their hand. So this prevents quick retrieval, and it forces, like, it doesn't stop Super Rod, but it at least stops like your opponent from accessing their discard pile and adding things to their hand. And then now we're gonna move on to the trainer cards. So I play 4 Arven. It's pretty standard. You need it in decks like this because you want to be able to search your utility pieces by turn 2. So we play 4 Arven. This one's going to be only probably unique to this deck and maybe to another one. But I play 4 Crispin. This allows me to basically energy accelerate, and it's one of the best energy acceleration cards right now because it allows you to essentially attach 2 energy in 1 turn, because you get to search two energies of different types, attach one of them to one of your Pokemon, and then add the other. So this allows you to essentially gain as much advantage as you can. Next, I play 3 copies of Iono. So if you don't know what Iono does, it's basically you shuffle your hand to the bottom of your deck and you draw equal to the number of prizes remaining. So this is either a free refresh for 6 or a hand disrupt for like 4 or less. So depending on your opponent's prize state, you can either disrupt their hand or give them a free hand of 6. But usually you're using this to disrupt their hand and also refresh your hand. Then I play 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Pretty standard gusting. And then 1 copy of Turo Scenario. This is just here to like save Pokemon that I have from getting knocked out. And then now moving on to the items / tools. So I play 4 copies of Nest Ball. The reason why I'm playing 4 is I want to be able to either get Rush into the Iron Thorns, get the Dreepies on stage, or even the Toedscool. So this is our main way of making sure that we establish a full bench, because this allows you to search for basically any basic Pokemon. And then with that same logic, I'm also playing 3 copies of Buddy Buddy Puffin, because we want to get our baby basics onto the stage as quickly as possible. Then I play 2 copies of Ultra Ball. This is just more consistency tools, just to make sure that we can get to all our pieces This allows me to search for any Pokemon in the deck by just discarding 2. So we play 2 of that. And then lastly, I play 1 copy of the Terra Orb. This is just there to search the Dragapult right away, so I can have it on play turn 2, like turn 2 or 3. And then I play 3 copies of Pokegear 3.0. This is your main searcher for supporters, since we're not playing any Rule Box searchers. I'm thinking about adding a Tatsugiri in the deck, so that way I have 4 ways of digging for a supporter. Then I play 1 Prime Catcher. This is my A-spec of choice, because right now, like, there is the crystal, sparkling crystal, but it only works on Dragapult EX. And our main goal right now is to stun our opponent out with the Iron Thorns, and then start taking KOs with the Dragapult. So there's no need to rush into the Dragapult's attack when you're going to be mainly attacking with Iron Thorns early game. And I like this because it allows me to strand like high retreat costs Pokemons with abilities. So I can essentially do that and then go and then put the Thorns in active and just lock them out. So that's why I wanted to play the Prime Catcher. And it also allows me, if they trap me with the Thorns, to have some way of getting out of the Thorns out of the active. Next, I play 1 Night Stretcher, just so I can immediately get whatever I need, whether it be the energy or the Pokemon in my hand. Then I play 1 Super Rod for additional recovery. And then for my tools, I play 2 TM Evo and 1 Future Energy Booster Capsule. So the TM Evo is there, obvious, so you can get into Dracoloque and Dragapult really quickly. And then this is here for the Iron Thorns to not only do additional damage, but to get a free retreat. And then for the energy, we play 4 Psychic, 4 Fire, and 3 Lightning. So I hope you guys like this video. I will be looking at showcasing other Dragapult variants. There's also one with Badoo and the Dusclops, but I feel like this is one of the better partners for Iron Thorns, because you get so much disruption out of this. Like the only weakness this deck has, like one of the few weaknesses this deck has, is either against fighting decks or the other Dragapult list, which does item lock. And I'm actually thinking about finding a way to incorporate the Badoo in this list, so I have 2 forms of locking, whether it be ability locking or item locking, depending on the matchup. But overall, I do like this list, and I feel like this will survive the rotation, as I'm not running anything that is going to be in rotation, that's going to be rotated out. So this is probably one of the best. This is going to be one of the initial decks that I would recommend people playing if they decide to jump in near rotation, when the rotation occurs, because this is probably the only deck that's not affected by it. So that is something to consider. So I hope you guys like this deck profile. I will be doing another one in the near future. It is probably going to be on my Charizard EX deck post rotation, as well as a ancient box deck that I've been tweaking. I also have an Ogerpon list that I'm going to be showcasing. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, also crack that like button, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay on point, guys.